Happening now, the father of a former Frewsburg school student is speaking out, sharing allegations that the district failed to protect his son from bullying. And we're digging into a preliminary report to find what caused a small plane crash near Jamestown last month, plus how locals here in Jamestown are remembering Britain's longest reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth II.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, as the news of Queen Elizabeth II's death spreads around the globe, people are remembering and celebrating the life of Britain's longest-serving monarch. Here's a live look this hour at Windsor Castle. Riley Carlson is in London, where the country is experiencing its first day in 70 years without its queen.
King Charles III has touched down in London and will make his way to Buckingham Palace, where he will begin undertaking his official royal duties. We're expecting to hear from him for the first time today as he addresses not just this country, but the world, and his condolences on the loss of his mother still continue to pour in. People around the world are remembering Queen Elizabeth II following her passing at age 96.
The Queen was everything I've grown up with. She was iconic.
I was born in the year of the coronation, so she's been the only queen I've ever known.
Having ruled for 70 years, she was the only British monarch for many, a constant in an ever-changing world.
She may have been in the background, but she was always there.
During her reign, she seemed an inspiration to many, from world leaders.
I had the opportunity to meet her before she passed, and she was an incredibly gracious and decent woman.
She was one of my favorite people in the world, and I will miss her so.
To international superstars.
Please join me in a round of applause for 70 years of service.
I'm sad. She gave me my knighthood. and was delightful.
Queen Elizabeth's influence stretched around the globe, and tributes are pouring in to honor her legacy.
God save our Queen.
I don't think anyone realises how much she will be missed, because stability, tradition is something that modern society are getting rid of, and they have no idea how dangerous that is.
People admire, even if they don't agree with the monarchy, they admire her as a human being. It's hard not to.
And many people are still making their way to Buckingham Palace or to Windsor Castle to lay flowers and make their own personal tributes to Queen Elizabeth II. This country is now in a period of national mourning that will last until the end of the Queen's state funeral, although the details and the date of that funeral have still not been confirmed. In London, I'm Riley Carlson.
Riley, thank you. Coming up later in our broadcast, we'll hear from a group of Jamestown historians who are recalling our connection to the late monarch. A preliminary report from federal investigators found that an engine problem likely caused a plane crash in southern Chautauqua County last month. The National Transportation Safety Board provided an update in the August 11th crash, which happened in the town of Harmony. A flight instructor and pilot crashed their Cessna 172 in a wooded area off of Baker Street Extension late at night, leaving the two there with injuries and causing substantial damage to the airplane. The craft was traveling from Ohio to Chautauqua County as part of a cross-country flight. Just before it happened, the two were conducting a touch-and-go procedure at the Chautauqua County Jamestown Airport, where the plane lands on a runway and then takes off again without stopping. Now, as that plane climbed back to altitude, the plane's single engine started to sputter, ultimately leading to a power failure. The two tried to land at a nearby rural airstrip, but instead crashed. And we do have more on this report, which you can read in its entirety at WNYNewsNow.com. And Chautauqua County lawmakers are poised to accept funding for investments to the Dunkirk Airport. The Federal Aviation Administration has awarded the county $670,000 in grant money to help pay for a new runway lighting at the airfield. If approved by local lawmakers during a special meeting on Monday, the county and New York State would split a $80,000 bill to cover the remainder of the project's cost. In total, the FAA is covering 90% of the $750,000 project. And a parent of a former Frewsburg student who is now seeking education elsewhere due to bullying is speaking out in hopes of preventing others from enduring the same treatment his son has. Our Alyssa Wright reports.
He was coming here since about 5th grade. That year I started to see some issues where he was being bullied. He actually went to the principal at the smaller school where she completely dismissed it. Several teachers completely dismissed it, and I sent an email to Mrs. O'Boyle.
Since the bullying started roughly 4 years ago, Andrew Hughes removed his son from the Frewsburg Central School District. Despite reporting multiple incidents, Hughes says that he was ignored by school staff.
He was medically removed because of the harassment that he has endured, including a few death threats, an actual physical altercation, and then the last straw was he was hit in the face with a computer.
After being allegedly assaulted, his son was not only denied proper treatment, but also left outside unattended, according to Hughes.
When I showed up to the building, he was out front of the building by himself with no supervision at 12 years old after being hit in the head with a computer. So I drug him back into the school, sat down with the principal, who the secretary immediately told me, well, he's already been signed out by the superintendent, he can leave. And I said, no, I need to talk to the principal. This isn't the current principal. So I sat down with her and I started asking, was concussion protocols followed? Why did I find him outside with no supervision? And she just sat there and could not tell me anything.
The school's superintendent, Shelley O'Boyle, acknowledged the father's concerns.
You know that I can't speak directly about students or personnel. Issues that come forth at board meetings or public meetings or any other times, actually.
The superintendent wants to assure parents that safety is the school's top priority.
We're here to make sure that all students get a good education and they do so in a safe environment.
Now, Hughes just wants to use his experiences to protect other children.
Honestly, I'm looking out for everyone else's children. Close friends of mine have actually had to call the police on the school for various things, and I'm sick and tired of it. I'm actually a local pastor, and these kids mean a lot to me, and it means a lot for the children to have a voice when nobody else will.
Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
Alyssa, thank you. The father says next he will give the Board of Education 30 days to respond before filing further complaints at the state level against the school's administration. We'll, of course, continue to follow this story and work to provide updates as they develop. Well, now let's switch gears a little bit and get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with that, and it looks like it's shaping up to be a pretty sunny day out there, Dakota.
Oh, yes, it is. We've got a fantastic Friday for you out there. Look at the Warren sky cam. Yeah, we're seeing a few clouds, but other than that, enjoy today because it's really dry and it's going to be much warmer today as well. You can see nothing on the satellite and radar composite, so we are going to stay dry with only just a few clouds dotting the sky from time to time later on this afternoon. 73 was the high yesterday, started the day at 54, and 94 and 30 are the records. So through the afternoon, any of that low-lying fog that we had this morning is going to continue to burn off. Otherwise, mostly sunny, warmer. The humidity is up a little bit, but not too bad. 77 to 83 with an overall light south wind, but I do have some rain in the forecast. We'll talk about who's going to get it in that Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day later on in the show, Justin.
All right, Dakota, we'll see you back in a little bit. I wanted to rub this in your face. The latest on the Bills' victory over the LA Rams last night. Yeah, baby, what this means for their season and for Dakota, who's surprisingly a Patriot. And later, why a demand for running safety gear is going up in our region. Stay with us. WNY News Now will be right back. It's all in good fun to come.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Calling all teachers. Get your year started off right with an evening with Gary Brooks. Come see Gary as he shares his funniest school stories and strategies to build a positive school culture. Go to reginalda.com for tickets and more information.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than DeWyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on DeWyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. DeWyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
When severe weather breaks, one team has you covered, tracking the storms as they happen. Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
The Buffalo Bills blew out the champion Rams in the first game of the NFL regular season on Thursday. Erie Sports Now's John Leidick has a look back at the game action.
After more than 200 days, the NFL returned with the defending Super Bowl champions against the favorites to win it all this year. Los Angeles Rams in SoFi Stadium packed to see the raising of a Super Bowl banner for the second time in franchise history. The Buffalo Bills, though, they came to play from the start, as it is Josh Allen to Gabriel Davis on the opening drive. First 10 passes complete for the Bills starting QB. 10-0 Buffalo, and Matthew Stafford cutting into it to the Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp. This game was tied at 10 at the half, but the opening drive of the second half for the Bills, and Allen to Isaiah McKenzie. Buffalo back in front and for good on the 7-yard score. After a defensive stop, Bills strike again, this time on the ground. It's Allen running for the score. 57 yards rushing on the night, and third touchdown by the Bills QB. After the second Buffalo Bills interception on defense, Allen buying time and hurling one downfield to Stephon Diggs. The 53-yard shot caps the scoring. Allen 4 total touchdowns and a Bills blowout 31-10 on opening night over the Rams.
All right, John, thank you very much for full coverage of last night's game and more on the Buffalo Bills. Check out our website, WNYNewsNow.com. Well, New York will be providing $475 million in tax relief for close to 1.8 million low-income individuals and families. This comes as part of the state's ongoing effort to combat inflation and improve affordability. The state will soon begin sending direct financial assistance to New Yorkers who receive the Empire State Child Credit and the Earned Income Credit on their 2021 state tax refunds. The program will provide an average payment of $270 per eligible participant. New Yorkers can expect to receive their checks by the end of October. And tragic stories like Elza Fletcher's are just another grim reminder for runners, walkers, or anyone getting outdoor workouts in about the importance of being aware of your surroundings. The 34-year-old was jogging around last Friday when a man approached her and forced her into an SUV after a brief struggle. Fletcher was reported missing when she did not return home. This news is bringing awareness to tools made specifically to help runners feel more secure while out on the road. Things like light-up vests to make runners more visible, handheld alarms to cause commotion, and common items like pepper spray. While running with a buddy is always a safe option too, sometimes that's not possible. That's why Gene Britton from a Chili's running shop recommends running prepared. He says in just the past couple of days, we've seen an influx of customers coming in to buy safety gear. The store is even sold out of a few items.
Yeah, it just happened. It doesn't happen all the time because we sell them all year because people want mace and pepper spray. So we just happened to have sold out of them during this time when that news report was on. We had quite a few and they're just all gone now.
Now, Gene has also mentioned a heat zone app called Strava, where you can look up the area that you want to run in and see if other people have been there or are there now, so you know a good route where other runners will be. Well, the Justice Department is appealing a court order for a special master to review materials the FBI seized at Mar-a-Lago. Former President Donald Trump requested the special master, which is a third-party attorney, to filter out privileged documents from review by investigators. At issue are the more than 100 classified documents the FBI seized last month. The DOJ is arguing a special master is not necessary and that handing documents over to one could be a breach of national security. Monday's court order granting the special master stopped the DOJ from accessing the docs, but the intelligence community is allowing it to continue its assessment. NASA says it has 2 new dates in mind for the next attempt at launching its massive new moon rocket on an uncrewed test mission. They are September 23rd and the 27th. It comes after 2 scrubbed launches last week over technical issues. NASA is trying to fix a leaky fuel problem with the rocket. It's also seeking a waiver on a rule that requires the batteries of the flight termination system to be recharged at a nearby indoor facility before a new launch proposed date. The Artemis 1 mission is just the start of a program that aims to return people to the moon and eventually land crewed missions on Mars. Certainly exciting news there. Well, coming up next, we introduce you to a new furry friend that's up for adoption at the Chautauqua County Humane Society. And later after that, we're hearing from local historians here in Jamestown who are remembering Queen Elizabeth II. But first, Dakota is back with a full look at our weather forecast.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Calling all teachers. Get your year started off right with an evening with Gary Brooks. Come see Gary as he shares his funniest school stories and strategies to build a positive school culture. Go to ReginaldA.com for tickets and more information.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes! Make a plan today.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back, everybody. Wanted to start off with this amazing weather eye picture that Don sent us in this morning. And this was from last night. You can see the moon right there peeking through. So a fantastic shot. Thanks to Don for that. And of course, if you have any pictures or videos of the weather, Hundreds WX on Twitter, the First Defense Weather page on Facebook, and always use that hashtag MyLocalWX. If you have a tea time this afternoon, perfection. 77 at 2, 80 degrees at 4, 77 at 6. Lots of sunshine. Notice the chance of rain here. Zip, 0, nothing. So it is going to be a dry day today. Tonight, Jamestown has their second game of the season against Orchard Park tonight in Orchard Park. So if you are going to the game tonight, 74 degrees at kickoff at 7 o'clock, 72 at halftime, 70 by the fourth quarter. Just nothing but sunshine and clear skies. So hopefully the Raiders will come out of this with a win. Live look downtown right now from the HD News Now cam, showing you just a few clouds in the sky right now. As of noon hour, we're at 72 degrees right now, a south wind of 6. That south wind is helping to bring in that warmer air. The dew point up at 61, so it's like what I told you during first weather. It is a little bit more humid today, but it's not too bad. So it's overall nice out there. And I wanted to show you the rainfall through the month just because it's interesting. We have 2.15 inches for the month so far. That's above average by about a little more than an inch. So since since September 1st, we start keeping weather records for the fall season. We are almost about 1 inch above normal. Obviously, that's about 1 inch above normal for the month. And we're going to have more rain on the way here by the time we go into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. The rain showers turn a little bit more widespread as we go into early next week. High pressure still in control of our weather pattern further out to the east, but we are going to see some rain showers returning in here over the second half of the weekend. So the time is moving, but the weather ain't changing. On Future Scan, we may see a few clouds from time to time this afternoon. This is right around the game time tonight. Look at that. Mainly clear skies across the entire region, so no weather hassles. Watch for fog developing again by tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow, another looker of a day. I think a few more clouds dotting the sky than what we have today. Then here comes the influx of moisture coming on in with that southern wind flow. So we ultimately going to see some rain showers returning Saturday night into Sunday. 55 to 65 tonight, mainly clear and starlit. Watch for that dense fog by the morning. The next 7 days powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So 81 tomorrow, 73 on Sunday. We're going to stay in the 70s, Justin, through much of next week, and we are going to finally turn drier by the end of the week.
All right, certainly looking good there, Dakota, as summer's sticking around for a little bit longer. Thank you. Well, in an effort to help our furry friends find a forever home, we're partnered with the Chautauqua County Humane Society for our Pet of the Week segment. Joining us in studio today is Jennifer to talk more about this week's featured furry friend. Hello, Jennifer. Thank you so much for coming on in.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
So can you introduce us to our guy? He seems pretty chill, just hanging out.
He is so far. This is Sebastian. He's about 1.5 years old. He's a male. Domestic medium hair. He's got all his vaccines. He's neutered, microchipped, ready to be adopted.
Absolutely. And, you know, a lot of times we get animals in here and they don't always know what to do because this isn't like a normal, you know, home as much as we try to. How has he been so far today in his travels? I know normally you don't travel with cats, but you'll have to go for vet appointments and things like that.
He was not happy about going in the carrier at first. He was perfectly fine on the ride, and he's been a perfect gentleman since we've been here while he waits in his carrier for his appearance.
Yes, yes, and he really is. I love how he's just chilling. He's just like, I'm here. Has he had a chance to interact with other cats at the Humane Society?
Yes, he has. He lives in our cat colony. We have about 18 or 19 cats in it right now, and he gets along swimmingly with everybody.
Yeah, so I'm sure if maybe there was a household out there who had cats, they'd probably have to make sure that their cat would work with our buddy Sebastian here.
Yes.
And in that sense, I know a lot of times with dogs, you're able to set up an appointment and have like a meet and greet. Does that work for cats also?
We don't need to do that with cats. We just tell you how to appropriately introduce them in the home.
I see.
Cats don't appreciate travel.
Right. I get that. What would that process look like if someone, say, had a cat and they were interested in Sebastian and maybe trying to add them into their family?
We would have them seclude them in their home. And, you know, in a spare room or bathroom or whatever, let that cat get acclimated, and then you can do scent swapping. The cats will know each other there, obviously, so you feed treats on either side of the door. And then when they seem like they're relaxed enough, you give it a go.
Yeah, certainly. And he seems like he's relaxed now.
Yeah, he's purring away.
Which is so awesome. With that, if I know I always try to bring up the fact, you know, how he does with other animals, but also with people too. Maybe easier for older people. Do you know how he might do with younger kids?
Based on all of this and how he is in the colony and with people coming in to visit and looking for, you know, potential cats to adopt, he's great with everybody.
Yeah, certainly. And important to have that conversation too if you're maybe a young family out there of kids. Be sure to be nice to our friend Sebastian, you know, no tail pulling, you know, whatever you wouldn't want done to yourself, don't do to him.
100%.
So, but yeah, he definitely is such an awesome dude. And I just love how he's just chilling. He's here.
Yeah.
Looking around.
Very proud of him.
So good job, Sebastian. And to learn more about any of our friends here at the Humane Society, it's so easy to do. You can head online to chqhumane.org. Sebastian, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate both of you, and good luck. Hopefully, if you're a family out there, or even a person who wants a cat, you know, he's up for adoption. I know there's a ton of other animals too online, which is a great resource for everybody. Well, coming up next, we are hearing from historians in Jamestown how they're remembering Britain's longest reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth II.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Slow down, and move over. Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights, vests,
please give us some room.
slow down.
Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
to help you,
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real.
Do your part.
Please
Slow down, and move over.
move over.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Well, following the death of Britain's longest reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, historians here in Jamestown, they're reflecting on her life and legacy. Our Julia Gress is hearing from those at the Fenton History Center.
Before she was queen, she did come to Western New York. Her and Prince Philip were in Niagara Falls, so that's probably the closest she ever got to Jamestown.
Even though the Queen never visited Jamestown, Victoria Parker, curator at the Fenton History Center, recounted that Jamestown resident Helen Overs, a Western New York Episcopal Church parishioner, met the Queen in Wales in June 1950. 150 Jamestown residents attended the Queen's coronation in 1953. Unfortunately, there is no specific photographic evidence of this journey.
So if you have a personal story or maybe photos, if you write it out or if you want to do an oral history interview, that kind of thing, we love to capture those kinds of stories so that the future generations, 100 years from now, when somebody asks what we know about Queen Elizabeth, we can say, these people came from right here in Jamestown and met her.
For Jana Wahlberg, president of the Board of Trustees and research assistant at the Hull House, her family's long-standing love of history is what first developed her fondness for the Queen.
She always looked so together, and just mainly because she was a class act. I thought that was something that must have been hard to do some days.
Wahlberg says the Queen's grace while taking the throne, a position she was not originally intended for, but came by after her uncle abdicated and her father was named king, indicated that she believed in country over self, a trait that stood strong for her 70-year reign.
I always thought it was interesting that during World War II, the family remained in London even during the Blitz, and that she was a truck mechanic, and that wasn't just with her nails done and looking real fluffy.
Despite being a country that rebelled against the crown, Americans have always shown interest in the royal family, similar to the draw of other celebrities or rock stars. This idealization, however, may wane as King Charles III, who is less popular than the Queen, takes the throne.
And of course things have changed a lot. Things aren't so proper and just perfect as they've been through the years, so I expect to see it ease off a little, but we'll see.
Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. Anyone interested in conducting local or family research is encouraged to do so there at the Fenton History Center's Hall House. You'll get the help of staff and volunteers on hand, and who knows, maybe you'll be able to trace your lineage back to the royal family. Certainly a pretty interesting time to live in. And really, for me, I've known my whole life, I'm sure so many people have, of Queen Elizabeth being the Queen, and now uncharted territory. Definitely a moment of history to live through. And one of the thoughts I had was just how much history she herself saw, right? World War II to a global pandemic. Wow, all that history and a lady who had her pulse on it for sure. Well, that is it for us today. We're back Monday. Hopefully you have a great weekend. We'll leave you with this live look over Randolph's Peaches and Cream Sky Cam looking at Wheaton Park.